Everyday Heroes.
Grandpa trips fleeing armed suspect in Columbus, Ohio.
On the ground! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! On the ground! Mama, you're lucky you dropped that gun, man. Boy, you almost got shot. Let's lock those cuffs. I almost squeezed the trigger, man. I did too.
Here's more stories on Everyday Heroes.
Carrying clerk scares off knife-wielding robber. With all the guns floating around the US, this Einstein from Newport, Michigan decided to try and rob a gas station armed only with a knife. Video released by Michigan State Police shows the smooth criminal entering the BP at 10:40 p.m. The guy pulls his knife and demands cash. The clerk reaches behind the counter like he's gonna take out money, but instead pulls out a piece and points it right at the knife man. The robber does a quick reassessment of the situation and chooses to hightail it out of the store. Police say the suspect is a white male with brown hair, between 5'5" and 5'7", and drives a light-colored gray or tan, older model mid-sized car. Luckily, few people fit that description, so this should be pretty open and shut for the police.
Who you gonna call? This guy. A UK cop is being hailed a hero after he stopped a vehicle from falling over a bridge using just his bare hands and sheer determination. The van had been driving through icy conditions in Yorkshire when it skidded off the road and was left dangling precariously over a motorway bridge. When traffic officer Martin Willis arrived on the scene, he realized the driver was still trapped and hanging upside down in the van. Not willing to let the van fall over the edge, Motorway Martin grabbed hold of a wheel to keep the vehicle from swaying. He held on for 15 minutes until help arrived. The rescue operation took 2 hours, but ended with the 22-year-old driver being rescued and the van being pulled to safety. The poor driver suffered serious leg injuries and was immediately taken to the hospital. Motorway Martin, meanwhile, is getting applause from all corners of the internet for acting swiftly and saving a man's life. Faith in humanity restored. As wildfire devastated more than 90 acres of land in California, one man's random act of kindness toward a helpless creature instantly made him everyone's hero. The man had pulled over along Highway 101 near La Conchita after spotting a rabbit near the edge of the blaze. The animal darted into a burning bush, prompting the frantic bystander to jump up and down in a panic before rushing toward the inferno. He then reaches for something in the flames, eventually getting hold of the frightened bunny and carrying it to safety. A news photographer had filmed the daring rabbit rescue, which quickly went viral and made everyone and their mother collectively awe. The hero reportedly declined to be interviewed, but that didn't stop netizens from weighing in and piling on the praise for his selfless stunt. Saving lives for 6 decades. An 81-year-old man who made it his life's work to give blood has just made his last donation, ending a 60-year run that helped save millions of little lives. James Harrison was inspired to donate blood after receiving a life-saving blood transfusion at age 14. Since age 18, he's given 1,162 donations from his right hand and 10 from his left, earning him the nickname, the Man with a Golden Arm. Harrison's blood is special. His plasma contains a unique antibody that protects unborn babies from the deadly rhesus D hemolytic disease, or HDN. The condition occurs when a pregnant woman with Rh-negative blood carries a baby with Rh-positive blood. Her body reacts to the incompatibility by producing antibodies to neutralize the baby's red blood cells, resulting in devastating effects. HDN can lead to miscarriages and has been known to cause heart failure, brain damage, or even death in newborns. Thankfully, Australian scientists made a breakthrough with Anti-D, a life-saving medication that uses Harrison's unique plasma to stop the disease. As the program's pioneer donor, every ampule of Anti-D produced in Australia contains his blood, which means he's saved over 2.4 million babies. If he hadn't reached the age limit for donations, the remarkable grandpa says he'd still be carrying on with his work. He does hope someone else takes up the mantle and surpasses his record very soon.
Oh, this family will have a fabulous story to tell. A woman who went into labor on Sunday as floodwaters from Hurricane Harvey surrounded her apartment was saved, thanks to a human chain of neighbors and firefighters. Soon-to-be parents, Dr. Andrea and Greg Smith, were trapped inside their apartment by Hurricane Harvey, and during that time, Andrea went into labor. Unable to get help from outside the apartment complex, the Smiths realized they had no option but to prepare for a home birth. The Smiths' neighbors, who are also medical professionals, showed up with medical equipment and supplies after someone called for help. Word traveled until eventually someone whose father lived across from a fire station was able to tell firefighters about the Smiths' situation. As water levels continued to rise, the group decided to move the delivery process to the second floor of the apartment complex. When a large garbage truck was spotted outside, Greg ran out in the rain to ask for help, and that's when, to his amazement, he was told the vehicle was actually there for him and his wife. People quickly clasped hands and formed a human chain to help the laboring Andrea through the waist-high water and into the truck. After settling down in the hospital, the couple were given dry clothes and a real delivery room for Andrea to give birth. And at 1:59 a.m. on Monday, the couple's firstborn, Adriel, was born. The volunteers' brave act was captured by neighbors who lived in the same apartment complex the Smiths live in. And that footage has since gone viral across Facebook and Twitter.
Christmas miracle times 2. A family in North Carolina had a Christmas Eve for the books, saving people's lives not once, but twice. Crystal Travis and daughter Tori were driving home from visiting relatives when they came across a house fire and immediately jumped out to help. The mother-daughter duo came to the aid of a couple and their small kids right before a propane tank exploded on the porch. Thankfully, no one was harmed, and the family even managed to save some Christmas presents from the inferno. While this was going down, Dad Roger was 20 miles away and had just come across some folks trying to perform CPR on a baby. Luckily, he was able to use his skills as an EMT to revive the child. It was the craziest day ever for the Travises, but while some may call it a coincidence, they prefer to think of it as a miracle.